Mr. Johnny. Adeula.
So,
Ajira.
I love it.
Umbo.
Nice one. How are you?
I'm okay.
Great. Good to see you in flesh and blood.
Good to see you, bro. You're looking good.
I'm learning. And congratulations on the To-Do Center. I was in Tamale. I saw what you were doing with the young girls, trying to bring them back to school and all of that. And it was amazing. What informed this whole To-Do Center agenda?
Yeah, I think, first of all, I think I have to thank you, Brazil Simon now, for being part of the launch of the To-Do Center Dance for Education project, which was held somewhere May 25th, 2024. That was a great event. I'm just going to give listeners a brief about what To-Do Center stands for. To-Do Center was established in 2014 April as Mobile Center. In 2021, we changed the name from Mobile Center to To-Do Center for Leadership and Development to broaden our scope. We have a 7-member board, and the 7-member board comprises Dr. Mohammed Seydou Mustafa, who was the former registrar of UPSC. We have your own uncle, Alhaji Alasan Isaku, the immediate former Chief Director of Northern Regional Coordinating Council. Myself, Osman Mubarak, as the co-founder. We have Mr. Mukhtar Samed as a member of the board. We have lawyer Kadri Isifu, a member of the board. We have Dr. Hussein Hawawu, a lecturer at Tamatenka University. And also have Mr. Osman Abdul Rakib as a member of the board. The board, we have made sure that in development terms, we call what we call the two-loop system. The two-loop comprises the experience, the mid-career, and the young. So that is the board for To-Do Center. And we have 4 thematic areas that we operate. The first one, we operate in the area of governance and community development. In the area of governance and community development, our concentration is on social accountability, where we encourage the community to have interest in government projects, well-bound projects, so that they will better appreciate what the contractors are supposed to do and not to do.
So I want to understand what informed the bed. I mean, this World Bank. Let's drill it down. If somebody is listening for the first time now, why did you decide to have the To-Do Center for Development and Leadership?
I was fortunate in some years back. I was part of a program in Canada. I went to do a program we call it Cody Center, Cody Institute, where we're taught how to support our community with little or no resources. So I said, okay, fine. The government of Canada have spent a lot of money on me to travel from Ghana to Canada to learn something, how to support my community. When I returned, I said, no, I have to put this particular training into use. So I said, okay, fine, let me form To-Do Center in partnership with 1 or 2 friends so that we can connect with the base, the community, where we can offer basic community service to them at no cost. So that is the brain behind the formation of To-Do Center. We all have a responsibility to do something without taking nothing. So as part of my community service, I came out with the initiative as To-Do Center. Then that is the brain behind the formation of To-Do Center.
I saw the performances. I saw the ladies, the young ladies. How did you mobilize them? Let's talk about the mobilization.
Yes, I think I wanted to come to the Dance Vocation project. It's a project on its own. But if you want us to skip the other information...
You can talk to me about the Dance for Education
project. That's fine. Dance for Education project, as you witnessed in Tamale, it is a project that we have initiated 3 years ago to get the community members, especially young people within the ages of 11 to 18 years, to bring them together, train them how to dance, train them local music, and offer them education. That's why we call it Dance for Education project. And this particular project, we started with about 12 or 13 participants. As we speak now, during the launch, you witness it. We have about 65 participants who are doing very well in this particular Dance for Education project. And the students have the passion. There's a particular drive that pushes them to participate in this particular project. So our main focus now is to see how best we can particularize the educational aspect of the dance project. So we have set up a classroom, we have set up a lab to see how best the students, after dancing, we
Right.
give them formal education.
Right.
Most of them are from homes that cannot cater for basic education. And through the Dance for Education project, we have successfully sent a number of students to school, back to school,
Right.
and are doing extremely well. Some of them are currently in SSC, some of them are in SHS, and some of them are the basic level.
How long does it take for you to groom them? Because I know that for a long time, some of the ladies have been out there on the streets. They have not been in school. They have been used to not going to school.
Yeah.
How is it? I'm trying to understand how you convince them to say, we want to take you back into school, and they accept to come back.
So the first thing, we use the music and the dance.
Okay.
They should come. You know, children love to dance. And
Right.
the children love to play. We used the dance and the music to get them into the system.
Right.
So in the process, we try to explain to them the need for them to go back to school.
Okay.
Without education, they can't do nothing for themselves.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, there are opportunities to come up, and without education, they cannot do nothing. So we have successfully modeled these children, and all of them have the passion to go back to school. And they even query me, Mr. Mubarak,
Okay.
our school, they said this. Mr. Mubarak also and said that, and I'm very excited that we have gotten this far. And you witness what
Right.
happened.
I
It was a
did.
brilliant
I
thing.
mean, all the big boys were there. Sanana was there as
Yes.
well. Regional minister was there.
Yes.
What kind of dances do you train? I mean, I want to understand why you choose certain dances and what that means for their education, edification as well.
If you follow pattern of child growth, you will observe that families or parents do not pay attention to our cultural music and dance. So we have decided as a project to concentrate on local music like Takai, Bamaya, Bla, Tora, etc., etc. That is what we have focused on, so that at the end of the day, when they grow up, they will appreciate the culture and the traditions of their communities. So we strictly limited to our cultural performances.
Okay.
And it's wonderful. I have decided to use my children. The last time you were in Tamale,
Right.
I went to the school with you. My children, all of them, are currently learning how to dance our local lesson, so that they will appreciate what other children go through to access education.
Right.
And that is the part that makes me very happy.
26 minutes after 9. Community Connect.
This is Community Connect with John and Hughes on 3FM 92.7. This is Community Connect with John and Hughes on 3FM 92.7.
That's a bit of a Bamaya dance. Very beautiful dance. You should see it. Now what's the bigger plan? I saw the event. We were at the Gentleman's Event Center. What's it called?
Savannah Center.
Savannah Center. Right.
Yeah.
We saw it.
Yeah.
We saw the people dancing.
Yeah.
And then what? Because usually when people say, oh, they're on Korea culture, they're going to do culture and they're going to dance, and that's it. What's the bigger picture?
The bigger picture is to get all the participants to a higher level of education. And to do that, we must concentrate. That is why we launched the program. And the theme for the launch was to raise funds to implement our educational aspect of the project.
Right.
So now, what we are now concentrating on is to see how best we can mobilize resources to go deep into the educational aspect of it, i.e., the computer lab, the skill development center, and the classroom, so that as part of our activities, we will schedule them. When you come for 1 hour dance tutorials, you go for formal education tutorials for 1 hour, so that we will marry them.
You balance them.
We will marry the two. They will come because that is their passion to dance, and we'll take advantage to give them formal education. And we have quite a number of them who are out of school, and they are interested in getting back to school. So we have the informal education aspect of it, or the non-formal education aspect of it, where we are looking for volunteers to come and concentrate on that aspect of our program, where these out-of-school children can also have some formal education. We are in a technological world. At least they should be able to use their phone to send a WhatsApp or to Google for information. So that is what we are looking at. In the next, in the coming days or months or years, our main concentration is on how to practicalize the educational aspect of it. For the dance aspect, I am 99% sure that we are on.
How many dances can they do?
They can do a number of dances. They can do as many as 10 dances.
Name them.
We can do Bamaya, we can do Tora, we can do Jera, we can do Takai, we can do Bla, we can do choral, the band choral music.
Can you do any dances from the south?
Yes, we do Palongo. One thing that we have succeeded in doing is to introduce them to the southern dances, where they can fit in wherever they go. Yes, and these days, choral music, the band choral music is off. So that is what we are doing. And we are all amazed. Jangpamba, Jangpamba, Pamba, Banye Pamba, this kind of music is out of the system. So if you go back 20 years ago and you ask 20-year-old guys if they can sing, I tell you, you'll be.
So you are trying to bring it back to reignite.
I have done that.
How widespread is it?
Within the project, all the children within the project can sing those choral music, and I'm happy.
What's the game plan? I mean, you pick somebody who feels that society has neglected her, she's been beaten down. You're trying to empower them. How long does it take, for example, to empower somebody who has been out there, off school, being on their own? I saw one of the ladies, for example, at your place where she used to walk miles and miles and miles to come for rehearsals and also to go to school. And then when you asked a question about what they needed, everybody was mentioning something, but all the kids came together and say she needs a bicycle because she comes from a very far place, right? And that for me was striking. But how long does it take for you to impact them?
One thing that I've succeeded in implementing is getting the children to voluntarily, without hesitation, accepting the program. They bring themselves, they check themselves, they check themselves. They will come and report that, Mr. Mubarak, this person is doing that, this person is doing that. So that is one thing that I am excited. But the other thing is that we have indicated to them that this is the second phase. And if we are unable to implement the second phase for them, they will be, they will not be happy, and they will feel like we have introduced them to a program and we are unable to honor what we ought to do. So that is for now, that is my biggest headache. We have succeeded. They come there every 3 o'clock, 3:30, they are there. When I close from office, I am there. So we have developed some family. Some network that I am happy and excited that I have succeeded in impacting on this particular community, the Chogu Sanaro community. As part of my community service, that is what I have done, and I'm very happy.
Let's talk about support. Do you get the kind of support that you're envisaging in order to expand to other places in the north to begin with, and then to also get into other regions, if you will?
The training I had in Canada taught me that you can implement your vision without necessarily having resources. And that's what I've been doing for the past, since 2014. You have to use your network. I have used you as a friend. We have implemented a project. The regional minister, because of my network, the MCE, other individuals. So in terms of resources, it's a challenge, but I use my network to get things done. And that is what I am hoping that like-minded individuals and corporate organizations will support in this area that I have mentioned, the setup of the computer lab for this case, the technical or the laboratory for this case, and the classroom setup for this case, so that we will implement this project without necessarily going for donor support. We should learn to implement projects with little resources, and that is what I am very happy. Normally, people ask me, so where do you get funding? I say, yes, I use my private resources and I use my network to secure programs and activities moving forward.
Now, in terms of the collaborations, with other people, because the To-Do Leadership Development Center must expand.
Sure.
In terms of collaborations, what are you looking at?
Now, I am currently talking with other civil society organizations, the EU, the European Union delegation, the German embassy, and the Northern Regional Coordinating Council, for them to appreciate what we are doing, so that at least they can also use their network to get us moving. So that at least one day they can also be part of, they can also give a story that we were part of this Dance for Education project. It is something that I am very proud, and I'm just hoping that we will get the required resources. What we also need is volunteers. Volunteers to support us. At least volunteer 1 hour, an hour of your time to teach the case. And most of the facilitators are volunteers. So for now, we need the physical infrastructure to implement the second phase. We also need the volunteers to implement, to drive the program, so that we'll all succeed, inshallah.
I'm looking at the girls or the ladies and how you're shaping up their minds to give back to society in the long run when they have also grown, because the situation of having people wanting to be out of school because of economic situations or because of other reasons or sundry reasons will still be there, because the key issues that I saw up north have not been fixed. How do you get them to give back to society in the long run?
There is
to also become, let's say, volunteers, whatever it is.
There is a component of the project that every evening, once we are done with the rehearsals, then we have 15 minutes talk. And that 15-minute talk, I try to let them appreciate the need for them to have interest in their community. One, to have interest in volunteering their time and resources too. And I use myself as an example. I always ask them, what do you think my interest is? I will close school, instead of going to a base to drink attire, I come and spend 2 hours of my time daily, every day with you. So there's the need for them to appreciate that. And trust me, anytime there's an event and I tell them that, look, this is a voluntary program, there's no money involved, they come out in their numbers, they even struggle to be part of that program. That is one thing that I am happy and I'm proud. So I am just hoping that moving forward, this kind of voluntary activities within our setup will up it. But for now, I am 90% sure that this case, they cut them young and they'll forever be yours.
How well have you been accepted in the north, in the communities that you have, particularly for people who have their weddings arrayed, they have the naming ceremonies and all of that? Do they invite you to say, come and perform for us, come and entertain us, so that we can also support you with a little something?
I think one thing that I am proud of this, and I'm going to say it on record, that my case can perform at any event. They have performed at congregation matriculation for the University for Development Studies. They have performed congregation matriculation for Tamale Technical University. They have performed in major state institutions programs and other individual organizations, and you witness their performance. So for our system, they are fully accepted. And you saw the kind of people that honored that particular invitation. So for within the northern part of our country, I am certain that my children or the project is on course, and we have been accepted. University for Development Studies, this is the university is one of the biggest institutions in the north, and my children have performed not once, not twice, not thrice, not 4 times. I mean, they have performed several times. That one, I am proud of that. Started the project, and those kind of institutions have recognized the performance of my group. Come to Tamale Technical University. So for acceptance I am.
But in terms of private people, these are state institutions. But private
these are the
people,
major institutions. But for private institution, they are
private
countless.
people, private weddings, private parties. I'm looking
It's
at
countless.
integration into the community proper.
It's countless. My laptop is here. I would have opened a countless individual events.
92.7.
Countless. Your wedding, funerals, parties, seminars, conferences, etc., etc. They are fully accepted.
Right.
And they can display to your satisfaction. My children can perform from morning till evening, non-stop.
So now the project has been launched.
Yeah.
You have people. I saw the center that's been hired, and you set up the whole thing. What next? What's the next phase?
This is a project. The Dance for Education is a project. I have another project. That one is about like our governance component, and that one is about 2024 election, where we are planning to organize a community-based event, where community members, the citizens, will come and appreciate the manifestos. So we are waiting for them to launch their manifestos. Once they launch,
but how does that connect to empowering young girls and their rights and rhythms?
That is our governance and community
So
development.
I'm looking at the next step for the dance and rhythms.
Okay. So the next step, I've mentioned that we are trying to practicalize our formal education aspect.
Right.
For now, that is my main headache.
Okay.
In the next 1 year
But
or two,
in terms
we
of
should
the
be able to.
formal education, at some point, they left school.
Yeah.
And coming back into school, where do they begin from? Do they begin from where they left off, or are they, taken back so that they can whip up again?
Normally, what I do is that I'll ask the students, where did you live? At which level did you live?
Right.
You left, then you say, okay, fine. I left at this primary 2. Then I'll go to the school and say, okay, this lady left school at this level, but it's been 2 years. What do we do? They assess the student,
right,
and they appropriately place the student.
Okay,
that's what we do.
Okay, so the school authorities work with you.
Yes, I explain to them.
Okay,
I explain to them. Some of them.
This is my award I have. She has talent. She's with our organization, but she left school 2 years ago.
Yeah.
At this stage, what can we do? And then they take a test, or they do an interview.
They just do a basic interview.
Right.
Basic interview. And normally I'll explain to them that this is the project we are running, and as part of the beneficiary, this is what we are looking for. And they say, okay, fine. As part of our community service, we will accept your.
Do the schools have space enough to accommodate all of them?
The last time that I went to the chocolate demonstration, there was no space, but the headmaster did very well, Mr. Alassan.
Right.
He created the space. He was moved by that project.
Right.
He created the space
to accommodate
those students. I mean, those students were shown during the documentary we showed. Yeah. And since then, they have been doing extremely well. One of them, I've just written the BC, and we're going to SSC, inshallah.
Okay. Oh, under your direction.
Exactly. Yes. I have a profile of each student, all of them. I interact with their families. I interact with their parents. I interact with their friends. I have daily updates, and they even report themselves to me. They will call me, Mr. Ombari, this girl, when she leaves home, she doesn't come. I say, hey, you can't do that. If you want to do that, I'm going to take you out of the project.
Right.
I am very strict when it comes to that.
How do their families react when they know that these children of theirs were not going to school? Now they came to dance and sing, and they are back in school. How do their parents react?
One thing that I am happy is that almost all of them, their parents have heard the name Mr. Mubarak, but they have not set eyes on me.
Okay.
They are so happy and they are so excited. And my facilitators always tell me that, look, this girl's parents is looking for opportunity to come and say hi. I said, that's not necessary. What is important is that we must get to the promised land. They must attain higher education. And I tell them that if you we have a lot of exchange programs. Cultural exchange programs.
Right.
You can perform to the top, but you have no formal education, you drop out. I always go to the website of US Embassy or the embassy and look, this is a cultural exchange program. But you see the qualification, you can be the best performer, but without education. And these are the things that I try to indoctrinate. I mean, indoctrinate is a negative term. I try to put into their head.
Imbibe in their minds.
Yes, for them to appreciate what I am doing. And I always tell them that my children, the reason why I have brought my children to be part of it, for them to also appreciate that kind of voluntary activity, that when they grow up, at least they can also fit in society. We are in a highly competitive environment, and you need to sacrifice your resources, your time, and your network to serve community, and that is what I am
Do they
doing.
rehearse every day?
Every blessed day, from Monday to Friday, from Monday to Sunday, every blessed day.
There's no rest.
No rest. Because that is their passion. They love it. They love it. Even if it rains, when it rains, they come to the training ground.
Is it because you give them food or because you...
I don't give them no food. I don't give them no food. I give them experience and exposure. And one thing that I'm also happy is I have traveled with them to different places at that age. At that age. They are exposed, and network exposure is key to success.
Right.
We need to give ourselves exposure. You can't just stay in Tamale and go to Tamale Ghana Senior High School. From time go to Tamata to Tamata University. Then you get your job and you start. No, we must give them exposure at that level, and they appreciate community service. That's one thing we are lacking: community service, and we need to start at that level. And that is exactly what I am doing.
Okay.
It's quite stressful, but it's in terms of finances and time. But once I am committed and I love it, I am very fine and I'm excited. And they are my new guys. When I ride my motor or my car, they call me, Mr. Mubarak, and I'm excited.
I see. Let's wrap up this conversation. You have done what you can, and you're still doing what you can. Let's look at the traditional authorities in wrapping up, and their contribution to what they do and what pledge they have made to you and the little girls in terms of their support and for the longevity of what you're doing.
I am excited that I have both governmental and traditional support in Tamale. Anytime I call on the traditional leadership within the Tamale, within the Tamale areas, I am on it. Example, the Sandarna, he was at the program an hour before we started.
Right.
The regional minister was there, the mayor was there, all the key stakeholders were there. So I have enjoyed the best of support, and they are always there to support the project. They get amazed. The minister said, Mubarak, I have to get UNICEF and UNDP to be part of this program. I think you were there when minister made it. So I have the support because they appreciate what I am doing, and very few people will commit their time and resources into that kind of project. I'm just hoping that I always tell my kids that in 20 years' time, when I'm out of the system, they should be proud, or I'll be proud that this person I was part of their
shaping
success.
their lives.
This person part of it. And we don't know. We don't know who will help your society. So that's what I am doing.
Mubarak, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Grateful. With is a co-founder of the To-Do Center for Leadership and Development, and they've have an interest in rhythms and rights of young ladies, trying to empower them to rise up to the occasion, get a broader horizon, and also become a tower unto themselves, and also rise to the very pinnacle. And 46 minutes after 9 here.